Perfect Awana Club by Thornton Cucumber. The third. 'Twas a half hour before club, and all through the church grounds, commanders and directors were running like greyhounds, setting up things and getting prepared, 'cause by 15 minutes till, all leaders would be there. They came in on time, each uniform pressed, all BT bars in place. They were impressively dressed, their Bibles in hand and their club handbooks too, to find a child, they could say, a section 2. Some greeted the kids and talked to the parents. Some played with the clubbers, a confusion deterrent. Secretaries at a table were taking registration, smiling at newcomers, to each child an inspiration. Cubby leaders weren't too busy to meet moms at the door or to give little ones fun toys to explore. The game director was getting his things by the square, knowing it was time for the kids to be there. Clubbers in full uniform were soon waiting with flags. On the circle were pins, with corresponding being bags. At the whistle, all children found their lines and stood straight. Each leader was with them. Not one person was late. On the command, "Present colors," the flags were presented, the silence so evident that discipline was accented. Not a soul moved through the pledges, except to salute. A key verse was recited, then prayer so resolute. The theme for the night was announced with such flair, clubbers gasped with delight just over the fact they were there. Then they were dismissed for the next part of the night. They walked single file, each one so polite. The group that stayed lined up in order for games. The leaders quickly encouraged each one on their teams. Not a minute went by till the first game was started. It was a bang-up barn burner. It was not for the weak-hearted. The cheering, the yelling made much more than noise. The electrified atmosphere entranced girls and boys. They hollered out names of each teammate competing. For the new kids, they made it a method of greeting. The leaders kept busy keeping kids in position, leading yells, cheering those who had lost the competition. The game director conducted with only seconds between an old game, a group game, and new games they'd never seen. Team points were awarded when each game was done, but more points for good conduct made it even more fun. The children loved it, and they all agree the games of Awana are the best ever seen. In handbook time, kids quickly sat in their places, each leader in a circle of 5 smiling faces. 4 said that they had some sections to recite. 1 didn't have anything. He was new that night. Each leader began by leading in prayer, for each child thanking God for everyone there. Then get out your books, kids, and study once more while I help our new one understand what's in store. Nothing distracted them from reviewing their sections until their leader gave them further directions. The new one was shown a new entrance test and encouraged to memorize, just like all the rest. Come on now, clubber, it's your turn to recite. Remember, 2 helps is all that you get tonight. The leaders reminded each clubber in turn while they worked for the awards they were so eager to earn. The leaders remembered when each section was said to not let the verses just get stuck in the head. They asked clubbers questions that gave a good start for the verse going down from the head to the heart. And then, when the verses of salvation were recited, the leaders became especially excited, for this was the chance to explain to each youth the all-important, life-saving gospel of truth. When a section was passed, the kids studied the next one, or helped their new friend learn his very first section. The kids worked real hard. Not one left his seat. Each child had learned something when handbook time was complete. Council time was last. The clubbers came in expecting to listen and learn once again. They sat by team colors, a planned incentive, and their leaders among them were equally attentive. Announcements came first, then awards given out. Each little patch brought a cheer and a shout. Every boy had his shirt tail neatly tucked in. They were eager to be like their leaders, the men. Songs were prepared and thought through in advance, planned so well that each one would enhance the message, the singing. It was exciting and fun. Everyone sang, even the song leader's son. The speaker stood up. His first words got attention. Then some visuals were added to help their retention. Straight from the Bible were the things he decreed. His message was brief, but spoke to their need. No matter the subject, he always wove in the gospel and how to be saved from one's sin. A time to respond came right at the end, but not so late that there was no time to spend in counseling the ones who responded to Christ. So there was time left when the club was advised of the specials to come, the theme nights ahead. Then the last thing, the team scores were enthusiastically read. It's over. The clubbers learned God's word once again. The unsaved heard how they were freed from their sin, and the leaders grew as they faithfully served Christ. That, my friends, is what a perfect Awana club's like. The Perfect Awana Club by Thornton Cucumber III.